Yo, what up? It's JSF, and I know I'm putting out a lot of videos right now, but a ton of MK11 or MK1 stuff is coming out, ton of leaks, ton of story stuff, and I want to talk about something that I thought was a relic of the past, something that I thought we, as a world, had moved past, as the gaming world, as consumers, as players, as developers. I thought this shit was over with, but I want to talk about OnDisc DLC, and if y'all don't know what OnDisc DLC is or what it means, I'll give an example that I'm familiar with. So I found out about. Well, I've always played fighting games, but one fighting game that the FGC didn't really like was in 2012, and I was Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. The reason I'm bringing up Street Fighter Cross Tekken is because it had something that is called on-disc DLC, meaning the game shipped with content on the game. So if you bought the disc, you own the disc, you own the content on the disc, right? But there was a lot of content, as in DLC characters, that were just locked behind the paywall. So imagine you buy a game, right? You buy this game, you play this game, and there's a bunch of locked things that you just can't get access to because they want you to pay more money. But it's in the game already. It's complete, it's fully done, it's ready to go, but you can't access it unless you give them more money. It's just a devious tactic. It's kind of scumbaggy, and I gotta bring that up because MK1 seems to be doing something similar. Now, I'm not gonna just say flat out, look, this is 100% on this DLC, but this game kind of has on this DLC. And there are three examples I want to talk about, and there's a leak I want to talk about. So, this is where we're gonna get into some story spoilers. So, if you don't want anything from the story spoiled, I'm sorry. I gotta talk about it because I gotta talk about two of the DLC characters. Well, three if you count Shang, because he's technically DLC. But he's fully completed base roster, and we'll get to that. But first, I want to talk about Ermac and Quan Chi. Now, Ermac and Quan Chi are obviously in the combat pack. We seen them in the trailer with Omni Man, Homelander, blah 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 blah. I do need to mention this because when you see it, you might be confused. Ermac and Quan Chi are in the game, right? They're in the game, especially Quan Chi. They're in the game a lot, but they do not have original move sets in the game. Ermac's move set is reused animations from Noob Saibot and MK11. Quan Chi's animations are reused from Shang Tsung in MK11. So that's one thing. But I will say you could very easily just map different animations to a different character model. It's very easy to do that, and they show that later on throughout the story mode. So just that being the case does not mean that these characters had no real work done on them yet, right? They could just be hiding the work they did on the characters. I'm not saying that's 100% what's going on, but I'm saying that's very, very possible. So that doesn't just prove that, oh, nah, they don't have original movesets, so they haven't made movesets for them yet. That doesn't prove that yet, right? That's one thing. Another thing I just want to mention, like I said, they're in the story a lot. And what I mean in the story a lot, I mean Quan Chi is one of the main villains of the story. I mean, you fight Ermac and fight Quan Chi in the story multiple times. You literally get a whole chapter where you use Quan Chi as your cameo. So, like, they're in the game a ton. They're not just like, oh, you fight them once in the story mode, like Rain, or twice, like Rain and Tanya in MKX, or like Shao Kahn in MK11, you fight them once or something. No, they're in it a lot. A lot. Shang Tsung, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Shang Tsung has a whole chapter where you play as him in the story mode. But anyway, I'm saying this because it's like, it seems like they're just locking them behind a paywall. And there was a leak that came out a while ago. And for those of y'all who don't know, the leaks were true. All the leaks are true. All the leaks were real. The Titan Katana leak with the combat kids, all that shit is real. The only leaks that weren't real were the ones that were like very out there, like Gears and Chronica fuse together and do the fucking fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z and become Gearonica. I was like, alright, bro, that just sounds dumb to me. I'm sorry. Like the ones like that were obviously fake, but the ones from any accredited, respectable, credible leakers were real. And there was a leak that came out a few weeks ago, maybe months ago, that said, somebody said Ermac and Quan Chi were originally on the base roster. They were originally on the base roster, and they got pushed back to be in the combat pack. And I think that would make a lot more sense Because if you look at these NetherRealm rosters and you look at the pre-order DLC character, the pre-order DLC character is usually the 25th character, right? And a 24 character roster. But in this game, the pre-order DLC character is a 23rd character, and the roster is 22 characters minus him, right? Kind of a weird number, right? If they added two more, it would be the same as MKX or MK11. Why does this roster have less? So it does seem like two characters are missing from the game. And I already made a video addressing the whole 24th character thing, how there is no 24th character, so I'm not going to talk about that. But yeah, it does that, and the fact that they're in the game so much, and that they're not fully, like I said, they don't have full movesets in the game yet, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a moveset made. It just means we can't access it or it's not in the game yet. But the characters obviously have new designs. Quan Chi has multiple skins in the game. Multiple skins. Like, Quan Chi is a huge part of this game. Like, a massive part of the game. Like, I don't know how to, like, he's in the game more than Collector was in MK11, more than Scarlet was in MK11. So, like, it's absurd. It's kind of weird to me. It seems kind of devious that he's not just in the base roster. And I don't want to hear the argument, oh, maybe they ran out of time. They didn't have time to add them to the base roster. You wrote this story. The main villains in the story, again, I got to talk a little bit spoilers. The main villains in the story are the Deadly Alliance, Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, right? For the most part, they're the main villains for 75, 80 to 90% of the story mode. So you wrote this story with Quan Chi in mind. You can't tell me that you didn't have any time to put him in the game when you knew he was a huge part of the story. It just seems very, very like deceitful from NetherRealm. It seems like they're just doing some scumbaggy shit and doing OnDisc DLC and just locking these characters we really like behind a paywall because they know they can get away with it, right? I understand Takeda being DLC, 1000%. I'm okay with that. That's totally fine. Omni-Man, Homelander, blah, 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 all that shit's okay. But Ermac and Quan Chi seem like they 100% should be on the base roster. Same with Shang, but I'm not mad at Shang being the pre-order DLC. But the only issue with Shang being the pre-order DLC is when when Shao Kahn was pre-order DLC, when Goro was pre-order DLC, they weren't the main boss in the story mode. They didn't also have a story mode chapter where you play as them. Like, it just seems very much like, yo, we got all this shit done. We just want to see how much we can get, how much money we can squeeze out of you. And I just hate that. I think that's very annoying. You have a $1 billion IP. Mortal Kombat sells like hotcakes, and it always will. So stop being fucking greedy with it. But anyway, that's just what I believe. I would love to know what y'all think. I know in the past it was a huge deal when developers did this OnDisc DLC shit, and it really, really seems like NetherRealm is doing OnDisc DLC. And I'm not naive, right? I know the worst kept secret in the gaming industry is that DLC isn't worked on until after. They say DLC isn't worked on until the base game is finished, but I think we all know that that's a lie. I don't think any of us believe that. And I'm not saying like you gotta wait till the entire game goes gold to start working on the DLC. I'm not saying that. But don't put it in the base game. That the game that you ship and you sell to us, right? Put it in the base game. Put the characters in the base game. Have them fully a whole part of the game. Have multiple, like in MKX, Rain and Tanya didn't have 5 different skins or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you see, I believe, at least 3 Quan Chi skins, and then you see other shit that could be Quan Chi skins, and I'm not gonna get into that because it's more spoilers. But like, it's insane how much of a part of the story he is, and he's just not like Ermac. At least only has 1 costume, 1 design. But anyway, it's just I'm from the era in the FGC where OnDisc DLC was a big deal, and Capcom got flamed for that shit. Everybody shitted on them, and nobody liked it because the last thing you want is to buy a game and to just have some shit locked behind the paywall that's already in the game. So anyway, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Do y'all not care? But this is my hypothesis. Not hypothesis. This is what the vibe I'm getting. This is what I believe based on what I've seen and what I've heard. But yeah, Scumbag and our ass back at it again. But anyway, hope y'all enjoying the leaks, enjoying the story mode. I do like the story mode. I do think the story mode's cool. There's a lot of callbacks, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of cool moments. So if y'all haven't seen the story mode, y'all should check it out. If you can't find the leaks, hop in my Discord. You'll find them somewhere. I'll lead you in the right direction. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Y'all stay safe. JSF, I'm outie. Peace.